Bloomberg reports that Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered intensified strikes against Ukraine. These strikes, according to the agency, are aimed not only at residential areas, but also at Ukraine's critical infrastructure, especially the energy sector. The goal, of course, is to force Ukraine into capitulation on Moscow's terms. The report claims that after Putin's recent meeting with Donald Trump in Anchorage, he became convinced that the US president is not prepared to provide substantial support for Ukraine. Believing Washington won't intervene decisively, Putin now feels free to escalate pressure and commit any crimes he thinks might break the will of the Ukrainian people, convincing them that surrender is the only option. At the same time, we must understand that the very appearance of such reports is also part of Russia's propaganda strategy. After all, what does it even mean to intensify strikes when Ukrainians have already endured years of massive bombardments, from warplanes, missiles, and now swarms of drones, which have become the Kremlin's main tool of terror? Clearly, these statements are designed to frighten Ukrainians into surrendering even before any new wave of attacks begins, painting capitulation as preferable to watching their country destroyed. But let's be clear, Russia's so-called peace terms are not about giving up a few occupied regions. What the Kremlin truly seeks is destabilization inside Ukraine itself, social unrest, conflict between citizens and their government, and the collapse of the Ukrainian army. That, in Putin's vision, would allow for the rapid occupation of much larger parts of Ukraine and open the way for full annexation, transforming these lands into new Russian provinces. This has been Moscow's strategic goal all along. And Putin may think that what he once planned to achieve over years could now be realized in mere months, thanks to Trump's weakness. But just like in 2022, during the failed blitzkrieg, he is likely miscalculating again. History has proven many times, if an aggressor army does not gain full operational control of the territory it seeks to conquer, it cannot realistically expect the enemy's surrender. Without effective occupation, there can be no effective capitulation. And today, the pace of Russia's advances makes such an occupation nearly impossible. And before I continue, let me just ask you this. If you find this analysis important, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support really helps. Putin has also already tried to freeze Ukraine into submission by destroying our infrastructure during the winters. He thought Ukrainians would give up when left without heat and electricity. Yet that campaign failed. Ukraine's statehood, economy, and determination all held firm. Now, even if Trump continues policies that play into Putin's hands, Europe has no choice but to keep backing Ukraine. European leaders understand that Ukraine's defeat would put their own countries directly at risk. Russian drones over Poland or Russian warplanes violating Estonian airspace are clear signals that Moscow's ambitions don't stop at Ukraine's borders. Ukraine is simply the staging ground for Russia's broader designs on Europe. If Ukraine were to fall or become a Russian satellite, the fear across Europe would skyrocket. That is why European states will continue supporting Kyiv, even if Russia escalates its attacks. And we must not forget, Ukraine itself is capable of striking back. In recent months, Russia has been losing oil refineries one after another. Ukrainian drones are hitting deeper and more often, and every strike causes serious damage to Russia's energy sector. That translates directly into hits against the Russian budget and reduces Moscow's ability to fund its war. So if Ukraine continues targeting Russia's energy facilities, military bases, and defense industry, the impact will be far greater than any half-hearted Western sanctions. To stop Putin from escalating, Russia must be denied the financial, military, and economic resources it needs for war. Otherwise, what starts as aggression against Ukraine could eventually turn into a war against Europe itself, and even slide toward a global conflict. That is why we must remember, while the key to ending this war may appear to lie in Putin's hands, the power to force him to use it remains with the Ukrainian armed forces and our Western allies. Only by fully grasping the scale of this looming catastrophe, one racing toward Europe like a high-speed train, can we prevent it. Thank you, my friends. Stay with this channel and make sure you are subscribed.